18-7.
That's what she gave you?
Yeah.
Sabrina? Not bad for women's.
Gianna Stewart, Candace Parker, Diana Taurasi,
Wait, this is an order?
Cheryl Miller. No mind more. Rough one right there,
But
but
yeah, I take a Nescu off of that list and put mine Warren. What's up, world? This is We Need a Fifth, and this is your man Mo. Got my man Hill in the building.
yo,
Got my man P on the line. Fellas, NBA All-Star Weekend. Is it still relevant? Matter of fact, first let me ask you: did you guys watch any NBA All-Star Weekend? I already know the answer to this question. Hell, did you watch any NBA All-Star Weekend?
we gotta be.
And I'm not talking about
Respectful.
ESPN highlights. I'm talking about did you tune in to the All-Star
I
Weekend?
did.
Okay.
I saw the. I believe it's what is that like the what the superstars? Not the superstars.
Rising Stars.
Not the Rising Stars. No, I saw
The
they like the entertainers, like
celebrity
game. I saw a celebrity game, and I saw a little bit of the slam dunk contest, and I saw the All-Star game.
Okay, so you didn't check in for the skills or
Skills, not the skills I missed. I wanted to see Steph.
And Sabrina go
Go at it. I missed that. I pick and chose.
Pete, did you get a chance to
I didn't see the second match. It was by design. Because I didn't care.
all right,
I don't want to tell you, I don't really care. There's nothing that
all right,
interests me.
then let's get to the point. I think I watched the NBA All-Star game and it was disgusting. Nearly 400 points were scored. That wasn't basketball, that was a layup line. That was a shoot around. That wasn't a basketball game. How do we get to a point where we can make the NBA All-Star Weekend relevant? And in particular, how do we get to a point where we can make the NBA All-Star game relevant? Or at least competitive? I don't, go ahead.
No, you finished it right there. The players have to want to compete. I don't know anyone could do it but the players. You have to want to compete. That's it. Like this is back in the day. Hill, you coined the phrase LCD, right? It's just let's dunk. That's the All-Star game. It's not real. It's not. I don't want to say it's not real basketball because it's the greatest basketball players in the world. But effort-wise, it's not real basketball, in my opinion.
I think selfishly, I think we don't want it competitive, but it's more so like fan interactive. So you want to have that wide receiver have a straight goal route and be able to throw it to him as opposed to, you guys are playing hard defensive games. So they're going to let up a little bit, maybe a lot. You know what I mean? You want to see guys do their particular like Lakers versus Celtics move, whatever it is. Steph shoot a half-court three, Dame shoot a half-court three. It's more for show. So, I mean, you take it for what it is. I'm like, I want to see them play to win at the last bit at the end, but I've given up on it. So I'm just like, it's totally 100% show. So I checked out of it. So I've given it for what it is.
Do you think it makes sense to put something on the line for these players as far as maybe take the MLB route, where at one point MLB for their All-Star game, the All-Star game winner pretty much secures home field advantage for that conference. Do you think something similar to that would work for the NBA as far as making it a little bit more competitive, making it more relevant for your average fans looking in and knowing that, hey, this is an All-Star game, but there's some weight to it. There's going to be a competitive air around this game. I think we pretty much consigned to the fact that the All-Star game is not going to be competitive. With putting something on the line as far as, hey, maybe home court advantage in the finals.
I don't think so. I think the plays have designed to is that You know what I mean? Like, I think it's on the players. I don't know if you could gimmick your way to make it competitive. Either you get on the court, you want to win, or you don't. I don't know what else, what a home court advantage is going to do to sway people's thoughts on that.
And the in-season tournament worked only because 1 through 12, I guess, maybe what, 7 through 12 weren't getting that much money. So is there some incentive for the guys to give them an extra little boost? But there's no monetary value you can make this game important to guys. Guys get
He's an all-star.
kicked out of a game, they're also get kicked out of a game, you're probably losing about 180,000 just for that game. So what are you gonna offer guys? 50,000, 150,000? It's not even gonna matter. I know it's insane amounts,
Yeah.
but there's nothing you can do to say, hey, play harder.
But, to that point, putting home court advantage on the line for these guys, especially for an all-star game like the NBA, where the majority of your all-stars are playing on playoff teams, basically, and teams that should anticipate, hey, being a playoff team and competing for a championship.
No, because Kyle Kuzma could get a winning game layup and they're about 40 games out. And then Denver is playing the best basketball, or, you know, Anthony Edwards or Shea is playing the best basketball. No, that's what the regular season's for.
Yeah, and I think you mess up the value of the regular season. Like, if the Boston Celtics have the best record in the NBA, they should get home court advantage. Why they should get penalized because the All-Stars don't want to play hard? You know what I mean? So I don't think you should penalize people who actually play during the regular season, who play defense, who are competitive. You're gonna penalize them to make people who aren't competitive and try to make them competitive. That doesn't make it, I disagree with that.
How to make it better?
Can't.
I think, YouTube has these sensations who are doing things that say open up a slam dunk contest for the best people who are doing slam dunk contests. That's one way. The game, I think, which is done on the game. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a shambles.
It's Pro Bowl at this point.
Absolutely. That bad. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. But for the skills competition, I think a lot of that stuff is drawn out. You can get rid of it.
Yeah, because I remember, I don't know when it started, but I remember it used to be like the dunk. I guess like the old school woman, I think it was like the Schick old school guys, and the dunk. Like, the skill contest is relatively new, relatively new.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's needed. I don't even think none of it. I don't even think the dunk contest is needed, to be honest with you. I saw a clip of the Jaylen Brown thing. That was tough.
That was ugly.
I didn't even realize he put out the Michael Jackson gloves. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, it was bad.
And Jaylen Brown is an all-star, hell of a player, but he dunked it and then didn't look like
Right. That indeed, man.
Get rid of the dunk contest. I know they're not. It's a money maker. They generate money, but me as a fan, I don't care about that stuff.
Do you think the NBA needs to look at possibly getting rid of the All-Star game and just giving the guys a week off?
No, I think they should, but they won't. Like I said, it's too much money. Like, if I'm an owner, I'm thinking as a fan, if I'm an owner, there's no way I'm just co-signing dumping that. That's too much money to be making.
I would definitely wouldn't mind it. Just give them a week off, mid-season, but that's just not gonna do that.
Speaking of money and NBA All-Star Weekend, do we think it's been overpriced or prices out the average fan? Like, could we honestly say we can get to an All-Star Weekend and enjoy the festivities, or would it be too much? Because I'm thinking a trip to the All-Star Weekend, and with the hotel markups and stuff like that, and the price of tickets, you're probably looking to spend between $5,000 and $10,000 to fully enjoy the experience.
It's an elitist game for the elite. It is what it is. The average ticket is $1,300. Mid-level is $2,500, and down in the front row they go $4,300. Who's buying it for a game which we say is probably one of the worst games ever? You know what I mean? So I would have to say, no, it's not literally fan interactive, which they're pushing for the whole weekend. Preferably these games, I would love them to be in the range of like $5 to $25 for the game. Your average fan can't go to an NBA game, so give them the All-Star game, which you can see all the people at one time,
Mhm.
have them play, and you're getting that demographic in that city for a group of people who probably won't be able to see an actual game. Because listen, we went to a game and they were asking, what were you asking about for us? 250? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's, and we're not talking like we were front row.
Yeah.
So I mean, and break it, but we're it's all relative. So we're saying like if you can say go to Indianapolis and regardless of your social economic can say, hey, these tickets are $5 to $25 depending on, and then let's say your front row seats will make them $100 just for that one day. The NBA can do that for a show of good faith, and they can see every star right then and there, and say that they've seen that star from a low income standpoint, and then the rest will say, you know what, I got to do this and make these moves and say my social economic state. I'll be able to, people can't pay to see these other players, but it'd be great for a kid to see that.
I know we were talking off camera about the interactive component of All-Star Weekend. Are there any things that you guys can think of that the NBA can be more interactive with the fans during All-Star Weekend, or give the fans more access to those All-Star players with their camps that they do during the All-Star Weekend and stuff like that? Would you guys, and I think this is an obvious question answer, but would you guys like to see the NBA move more in that direction as far as putting more energy into making sure those all-star players are available for those interactive fan events?
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, it goes hand in hand with what I was saying with lessening the ticket price and making that weekend accessible for players in which people will never get to see. You know what I mean? So it'll go a long way, but at the same time, you got really successful people that'll say, listen, I worked really hard to be able to have this luxury, and so be it. I'll pay for it, and this is what it is. I don't think that'll ever go anywhere. I just think it'll be a sign of good faith though if they were able to do that.
And I know we didn't talk about this in pre-production, but this question, do you think it would benefit the NBA to include the WNBA in the All-Star Weekend, have both leagues combine their All-Star Weekend, or have some type of component where they can include WNBA players like they were able to do this year with Sabrina Ionescu versus Steph? Would you like to see the NBA expand on that?
No, like I said, I'd rather them shut the whole thing down. And I honestly, like all this stuff, I'll be honest, like I really don't care about the All-Star Weekend. I'm just being honest. Like I used to, you know what I mean? As a kid, I was like, because it was like the best pickup game you could watch. But now it's like unwatchable. So I mean, I guess what you're saying is like, how can you save it? I'm saying we need to euthanize it. Basically. You know what I mean? Like,
are you saying integrate the play, like the All-Star, like Ionescu and Curry in the backcourt? And I think please, I hope that wouldn't happen.
See,
I would pray that when they win.
See, to me, when you gotta start doing these, and I know it depends how you look at it, but I look at them as gimmicks. When you have to start doing this, it's over. That's how I feel. Like if you have to do international versus America, not to me. I'm speaking from a fan perspective. It's nothing they could do. It's actually compete.
I like them separate. The game's a tough game. Game is a really tough game, and if you have a problem with them not playing really hard, you're gonna have a problem with it being physical with females involved. I agree.
Okay. Now, maybe not in the All-Star game itself, include WA, but maybe in the skills competition.
They can't dunk.
3-point. And I would say this.
They can't shoot.
Unless you kind of disprove that, because she
shot better than Dame. Dame's a better shooter than us.
Hey, she got as many
and then
as many as the winner of the 3-point contest.
Does the WNBA have an All-Star game?
I think so, yeah.
No one watches that.
No.
So why would someone watch 2 All-Star games that nobody cares about?
My thing would be hey, NBA does get eyes on their All-Star weekend, and they get a lot of eyes, and to our point, that's part of the reason why they won't stop the All-Star weekend. So you got a little sister over here that's struggling with marketing that we talk about all year long. Maybe you drag her along and see if she can get some of this marketing mojo that you guys have been able to accumulate over the years and help.
I gotta see the numbers. I would imagine the numbers are going down. Like, no, the NBA. I would think their All-Star numbers are going down. So I think you need to worry about yourself.
Yeah. But and also I think of the excitement or the momentum or the energy they were able to create with the Sabrina Ionescu versus Steph challenge. I know
if you want to build your foundation on gimmicks, I'm sorry.
I mean,
it was nice, but it was a gimmick too.
But that's part of what part of the NBA's history as a professional, because you think when they started the merger with the ABA, part of that was, hey, the gimmicks of the 3-point line, of allowing players to dunk and all that stuff, and then the crazy halftime shows and all that stuff.
I mean, to me, like dunking and 3-point, that's basketball. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's
it is.
I mean, but
the best product that we have sports-wise is probably football, right?
Yeah, as far as revenue,
right? Yeah. So take into account, most people think after the Super Bowl, oh my goodness, I gotta wait another 6, 7 months for football. You literally don't. You have a few weeks. And the XFL can't piggyback off the NFL for people enough to say, I get my fix now with the XFL. Same type package, lesser quality, and the WNBA piggybacking off the NBA. There's such stark differences in their game. And the XFL is a horrible product. And they're telling you, you guys love football so much, we're going to offer you football within these 4 months. And people say, no, thank you. You have to magnetize that times maybe 10 for the WNBA, I think. People literally say we have no football for 7 months.
Right. You have like football like the next week.
Literally next week. Yeah. I mean, that's how much turned off people are from the alternative.
Yeah.
So bringing the WNBA, we went around that before. Like, we're trying to salvage the All-Star game. So now we're some of us. So now you're adding, the ship is sinking, and you're gonna throw another ship on top of it with the WNBA. It's not like you're throwing a life raft.
Right. Yeah.
Like
the Titanic is going down, so you're gonna get a lifeboat and put it on the Titanic.
What we need to do is to find a way to build a better ship. That's what we need to do, or get rid of ships in general. Maybe go to planes. So it's rough. I don't think. Like Pete said, I think we need to see the numbers. If the numbers aren't crazy they just won't get us. If that's what it is. But if they're fine with how many viewers you want to say on a Nielsen thing? We want to say 6 million viewers. If it fluctuates up and down for 6 to 10, if it fluctuates up and down with those the last maybe 15 years, I say just leave it as is. You just won't get people like us. That's all. Hey, I don't think it get better.
And see, and my thought has always been with All-Star games, and I'm switching on to the WNBA now. As far as fledgling sports affiliations or sports organizations that are trying to move to the next level, I think you should utilize your All-Star games to kind of test out any type of theories that you have about making the game better or more entertaining. Like, I think the WNBA, hey, during your All-Star game, lower the hoops to 9 feet. People been calling for it. People been asking for it. Show the people what the game will look like with the courts down to 9 feet. Whether I'm right, and I think that, hey, a better brand of basketball will be played, or a more entertaining brand of basketball will be played, or are people like Candace Parker. Right, in the sense that, hey, it's gonna throw off the game, throw off the muscle memory of shooters and stuff like that, and mess up the game in that aspect, and how spacing works with the game, and it just doesn't make sense. But use your all-star game to prove that out. And you'll bring more eyes to your all-star game because you're trying something that you've never tried before.
And muscle memory with Candace, to be fair though, is maybe it should take about 5 seconds. We've gone to carnivals and we said the basket is maybe 6, 7 feet, but it's far away. You shoot. Period. It shouldn't take that long. It may take, like I said, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. We get it. No difference. I don't think it's just they have create. I'm sorry, I'll say it right. And I don't think the dump to be creative if you drop it to 6 feet. I don't think it's creativity in it. I mean, you're not gonna get a windmill. I ain't gonna get like what Abdul-Jabbar had the slam dunk contest way back when, and it was like he touched his head one time and he dunked there. You're not gonna get anything. No, you're not gonna get 360. You're not gonna go between their legs. And it's just a different product. It's not gonna attract me any if you lower the rim. I also think you get creativity in dunks.
Well, I
Chauvinistic?
I think you're underestimating the talent in the WNBA.
They're gonna bounce it on the floor maybe 6. Listen,
and if they get a chance to play above the rim, I think, hey, it'll be a more entertaining game than we have right now.
A man bounces the ball once in a slam dunk contest and misses. I'm out. I'm not sitting there watching him do it 3 times. She's gonna have me sit there with
Wow. You're terrible.
Coordinate the catcher and you dunk it. And if you're bouncing it to get to yourself, I so if it's at 6 feet, right? And she bounces it and dunks it, and you're there, you're gonna say what?
It's not gonna be
6 feet, and she bounces and she goes, exactly.
I think y'all have more
Creative.
creative.
Go under her legs and dunk it.
I think y'all have more creative plays than that.
But it's nothing they can really do because as we see in the male slam dunk contest, I feel like we've seen it all. It's nothing they can really do.
But you haven't seen
women do it.
Ain't no difference.
You're telling me a woman's gonna go under her legs, underneath, and hawk it? I want to see it. If it is,
and I think if you lower the rims down to 9 feet,
they're not getting up to 9.
that you'll have
7.
It would, yeah. Would you like it? Because you're to me it would be.
like
I mean not for marketing purpose. Would you be more entertained?
Yeah, because for me, like I think of players like Candace Parker, who in college she was dunking on chicks,
right?
But my thing is like, hey, put her on a 9-foot rim and imagine what she could have been doing. Like she's Candace dunking and she's barely getting over the rim and doing one-handed dunks. Now imagine if she's in a position where she can jump with 2 feet and bring it back. Or I think
if I want to see that, I'll just watch the NBA though. To me, it's arena football. What you described to me is arena football. You shorten the field, it's more scoring, it's easier. But I'm not watching arena football.
But my thing is, for most sports, there are allowances between men and women. Almost every other sport, like hey, golf. Hey,
I don't watch that.
No, I'm just saying golf, volleyball, tennis. Everything is like with volleyball, the nets are lower. With golf, the course is shorter. With tennis, they play shorter sets. Like make allowances for that for every game, except for basketball.
Yeah, I think besides tennis, those sports are dead.
And even like, hey, softball.
Well, again, I'm speaking for myself. Your name is sports I don't watch. So
it's a creativity thing for me. If you tell me lower it, I would want to at least see it if there's some creativity. So I'm betting against, but I would be there to actually watch the first one if they actually had it, to be fair.
Okay. All right. Hey, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Are you guys still watching the NBA All-Star game? Is it still relevant to you? What do you think that WNBA can do to increase the entertainment value of their All-Star game? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to subscribe and like the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. You can also hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Fellas, still staying in the NBA. Your boy Jacque Vaughn, Brooklyn Nets, or former Brooklyn Nets coach, was fired last week. What are you guys' thoughts on Jacque Vaughn's fire?
Well, if Griffin got fired,
Wow, they said the president.
well, you can't argue this. You can't argue this. If a coach that would have been coaching in the All-Star game got fired, can't argue a guy who's under 500, right? So,
I mean, 13 games under 500, but I mean, it's Brooklyn.
And he's 11th, right? Still like 11th.
The East is bad.
Yeah.
The East is bad.
So they were still in the play-in.
13 games under 500
I feel,
in the play-in.
yeah, I feel if you have a losing record,
It's bad.
you could be fine. I'm not really gonna argue with you. I mean, it's always like little caveats or whatever, injuries and stuff like that. But if you're under 500, you get
Right.
fired. Well, I know why you got fired. You lost more games than you won.
Do you think he was put in? Do you think they gave him enough time, considering all the turmoil that the team's been through the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years? Do you think the team gave him enough time after that period to be able to prove himself? Or
Yeah, I do. Because they're not a bad. They have talent, not extraordinary talent.
Okay.
But Miles Bridges is a good player.
Okay.
Cam Johnson's a good player.
Okay.
They have talent. They lost more games than me.
I think the record is right where it's supposed to be. I don't know what the man could have done. I think he's just coaching, and I think they're right exactly where I don't think they should be at.
I don't think Orlando is more talented.
They were in first place at one point.
What, Orlando?
Yeah.
Well, good job by the coach. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're more talented than Brooklyn.
They're right back. I think the dream. I think he's just been steadying the ship, and I think you have peaks and valleys with some teams, but in the end, when we get there, Orlando's going to be where they're supposed to be. I just think that he's just going to have that many peaks and valleys to appease the emperor. I think, but he's there exactly right there, and probably going to end up having a better record than Orlando. So I think he has a team of good to below mid players, and they're right at where they are. They decided to make a change. I have no problem with it, but I just don't see what he was doing wrong, though. He could have went on with it.
Again, the only thing I can look at is the Orlando coach. Because I think the talent is pretty much the same. And Orlando won more games than they lost. To me, that's the difference. It's just wins and losses. The talent, I don't see where you would say, "Oh my God, Orlando's so much more talented than Brooklyn."
Yeah, but it's like season's not.
I guess what I'm saying is the Orlando coach is overachieved. Well, in your eyes too, I guess. Or the Orlando coach he overachieved early in the season.
Right.
Right. Well, Jacque Vaughn didn't, so he's going.
Yeah. I just don't know what they wanted from that for him to, I guess, overachieve. They don't.
They want him to overachieve.
And I think, and we were talking about this off air the other day. I think that the Brooklyn Nets management and ownership got spoiled with their overachieving in years past before the Kyrie and Kevin Durant deal. Because part of what made Brooklyn attractive to Kyrie and Kevin Durant was, hey, it was a scrappy young team that were always able to find a way to get into the playoffs. Now, they couldn't go anywhere once they got into the playoffs, but they always found a way to get in. And they just needed superstars to take them over the hump. I think ownership thought that that was supposed to be their reality and was living with those expectations that, hey, yeah, we have minimal talent, and we still expect to be a playoff team.
Well, what team was this though? Was Spence?
Yeah,
Well, who else was there though?
Well, currently, well, Spence, you had Cam Johnson,
Prior to Durant.
we had Spence, you had Levert,
yeah.
Jared Allen.
Right.
It was a bunch of like role players that were comfortable starring in their roles, but they were scrappy. You know,
But that team is not scrap. That team is just better talent than the team they have now. Though
I would say so.
I
I would
mean,
say because Dinwiddie, Levert, and Jared Allen, I can work with that one, coach.
yeah, absolutely. Which when they came, they got rid of.
Yeah.
So,
So you're thinking it's more the,
but
you're
they're
thinking the front
they're
office.
thinking like, all right,
absolutely.
they're thinking like,
Yeah.
yeah, we got rid of Jared Allen, Levert, and Dinwiddie, to your point, when we got Kevin and Kyrie, but they're thinking, we got Mikal Bridges and Cam,
Mhm.
and they're, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's bad talent evaluation though. Like that's just wrong. I think those are good. I mean, I like Mikal Bridges, so I don't want to knock him in doing this, but I think he's a really good complementary player to us, like a Booker.
That's
or
fair.
a
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Durant.
That's fair. Some guys you don't know until you see it. Like, you may see a guy be the second or third or even fourth guy. But you know what? If he had his own squad, maybe he could. Mikal Bridges right now looks like he's probably better suited in a winning situation to be the third or fourth guy, not the guy, or maybe even the second guy. And again, I would agree with you. No knock on him because I like Mikal Bridges' game too.
A lot.
I like his game too, but he just might. Everyone's not a franchise player.
Would you equate him to like a Lamar Odom?
No.
How?
When he was with Kobe?
Yeah.
No. Because Lamar Odom, I thought was Kobe's Batman at the time, more so than Gasol.
Ooh, wow.
I think Bridges is probably one of the strongest Alfreds we ever seen. Like him, like he's the US team. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching Brunson and Edwards, and Mikal would come in, and then he would just disappear sometimes, and it would be my guy in LA. You know what I mean? So I think he's a really, really strong three. Well, if you thrust him in to be a one, you're wrong. If you thrust him in to be a two, you're wrong.
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
But
Excuse me.
but I don't think that's a Mikal issue though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They brought him in thinking as such, and they're wanting expectations for their displacement. You know what I mean? Like they shouldn't be expecting any more than when y'all told me like Jacque got fired, I said, I get it. Okay. I looked at his record, I'm like, yeah, no, it's a bad record. You can fire him just off of that. Like, it's a coach that's having a 500 record. He's gone. But I'm thinking also, what did they want or expect? And that's what I'm stuck with.
Okay. Staying in the NBA, man. Let's maybe it's a little too soon, but we're gonna start mid-season. At this time, who's in the running in your eyes as, let's say, top 5 MVP?
So P steps up to the plate. I'm starting to agree with P's analysis for MVP. So I'll wait.
Top 5 MVP.
This is there's a lot
And is it too much to ask in order?
in order. Okay, now I want to like count down, but I don't know if I could do it off top. Okay, so
Who has the best record in the league before we do this stuff? Is it Boston or Minnesota?
I believe it's Boston.
Okay, all right. That helps me out.
Okay, I'll just start for one.
Yeah.
One, I'm gonna go against. I'm gonna disappoint you. I'm gonna go not really disappoint you, but I'm gonna go SGA.
Okay.
I'm gonna go SGA. I think he's playing the best this season, in my opinion. Both sides of the ball, gives you 30 a night, leads the league in steals. Doesn't even have another all-star on the team. And they challenged him for the best record in the West. So I got him number one, and I got Tatum number two. So just being the best player on the team with the best, and he's putting up like close to 30, I think 27, 28 a game. And you know, I think the only thing that hurts Tatum is that we've seen this. He's had so much success. No, he has so much success at a young age. It's almost like, okay, you're scoring 28, you got the best record in the league. That's MVP status. So I have him second. I'm not mad if someone has him at one. I have so I have him at second. I'll probably go Ant number three. I gotta probably go Ant number three, pretty much for the same reasons as Tatum, more or less. So we got SGA, Tatum, Ant, and then I'll probably go Joker, Giannis, 4 or 5.
Okay.
All right. For me, I would go, I'm taking your strategy. I'm going Tatum 1. Best record in the league. Easy enough for me. 2, I'm going with the second best record in the league. I'm going with Anthony Edwards. That's 2. 3, I'm going SGA. So happy with top 3. It's my guys. I mess with them. Number 4, I'm going with the guy in Dallas. I'm going with Luka. Taking him in 4, and he was hurt, and I had him in the front running for MVP.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna Joel Embiid.
Yeah, yeah. That's just he's over my list because of injuries. To be clear, he was number 1.
Yeah, he was
number 1.
After I gave him constellation number 5 over Joker. I'm not doing that again. Joker's great, might win a championship again, but I'm giving it to Embiid again. I mean, I think it's been chipped out of 2.
I think my list is going to coincide more with P, in the sense I want to do Tatum at 1, but I really like what SCA is doing with OKC, and I think that he doesn't have as talented a team as Boston Tatum is working with, and that's might be working, and that might be unfair to Tatum. But I would have Tatum 2. I would have Ant 3. I would have Luka 4 and Joker 5.
Yeah, so our top 3 is pretty much the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
SGA and Tatum. I guess I'm like the odd one out on the Luka thing. It's just a record. Like, you know, like Luka's good as anybody in the league, easily, you know, but it's just a record. So I'm not mad at that.
34 game wrecking crew.
Yeah, like,
That's sick.
Like,
Sick.
it's
He's gonna have to get one year, I believe.
yeah, for him, and I think it's sooner than later. So I like the moves they just made, and they finally have like defense and they have height. So I think they're set for the future. They can make a run this season.
Allows Kyrie to just play offense with those guys they picked up with PJ. PJ's nasty.
Yeah, PJ, dude from Washington, Godfrey, Lively's healthy. Like those 3, I think those are like really, they're going to be really helpful, especially the players.
Cuban finally got it right one time.
Yeah.
Right as he's about to sell his hair, right? Defensive player of the year. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I know you guys probably know where I'm going with it, but I think that kid out in San Antonio needs to be the first and last option for the defensive player of the year right now, because I think what he's been able to do defensively with this team. He gave me a triple-double with 10 blocks, fellas. With 10 blocks. Triple-double. 10 blocks. I don't know what else to say.
Rest your case.
What do we need?
To me, the only people I could think of, and you know, we're all big SGA fans. I think SGA, just because he leads the league in steals, more a statistical thing. Of course, AD is always in the running, and Rudy Gobert.
Absolutely.
But I'll save some trouble. I think the defensive player of the year and the rookie year are the same person.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion.
Right.
And it's not just stats, because if it was stats, I probably could go with SGA because it stills, but it's not only is Wemby leading the league in blocks, it's just like, if you watch,
Yeah,
it's like,
he changes shit.
he's not, he's a rim protector like Rudy Gobert and Anthony Davis, but he also can move his feet on the perimeter like SGA.
Mhm.
I just think he affects the game defensively more than any player that I've seen this season. Stats aside, just watching it, you know what I mean? So those that would be my pick for rookie and DPOY. Same guy for me.
Yeah, that kills the shocker for me.
Yeah,
Pretty much there.
um, yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna add a category onto this. Since we all agree on DPOY and Rookie of the Year, with Miana, just to be clear to everybody. What about Sixth Man of the Year?
Mm.
That's an award I never really cared about. Shout out Jamal Crawford. But I don't know. Who's up for it?
Eric Gordon,
Oh yeah.
like 16, 17 off the bench. Play Thompson.
We gotta see what he do with the position. He just started at 6 man.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all tell me, 6 man. I never
Eric
really paid
Gordon.
attention to that award, to be honest.
Eric Gordon, Austin Reeves. Is he starting? Austin Reeves starting?
Yeah, so I'm saying it sounds like most of the
Yeah,
6 men start. Like even Eric Gordon because of injuries. I'm sure
Right.
he got a couple of starts on his belt. But I don't know.
Last one, fellas. So this one. Which we call it most improved player so far.
She got it ready.
Oh, we ain't gotta go far then. Jalen Williams.
Okay.
You ain't gotta go far for it. Like,
Okay.
yeah, he's a player. He's a player. I'm sure there's another guy maybe I'm overlooking on it, but just being a big fan of SGA now being a big fan of OKC, he's one of the reasons. Like, he's nice. Like, he's not. Like, I didn't really know him. I heard of him, but now I know which Jalen Williams is which now. You know what I'm saying? Before I didn't know. Jalen Williams is nice. About 6'6", handle the ball, can shoot it. Pretty good defender. I think he made a pretty good jump. I think he possibly could be an all-star in the future. I think he has that much time.
Right, Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
I think Jalen Brunson.
yeah.
I think he's like giving me 30 in his last 12 games, I believe. But that guy might he might be in contention for it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he did make the jump he's an all-star this year. Although some would say he should have made it last year, but this year he made the jump to all-star. So yeah.
Wow, that's tough. And I think those are two good choices.
I mean, you say Jalen Brunson, we could say Williams, and maybe also say Halliburton.
Damn, Jalen Williams, don't look good for you.
No. I think I would go Halliburton. I think I would go with Halliburton.
You know what it is, and I'm not the biggest fan of the playing game. That did a lot for him.
Yeah.
That did a lot. Like,
He had a good all-star game too.
if you I'll take your word for it. I didn't see it.
6 threes. He was in the running to win it.
Yeah, Halliburton. Yeah, I'm probably that's tough.
Halliburton, Brunson.
So I feel like Jalen Williams was kind of like not known, or at least by me. So that's why. But I knew Halliburton and Jalen Brunson, but I can't take away to the fact they made a jump. They might have made the same growth that Jalen Williams did. You know what I mean? They're that much better this year. So yeah,
they're falling in line with Shea getting it that way, was the jump that Shea did. And that sucks for Jalen, because Jalen made a huge jump. Jalen's a problem. But I think the way that they have it for like the Shea jump and to be in first team, those players might have a chance if they don't get snubbed to be like first team. So they might just, instead if they don't make it, might hit them with something like that.
Hey, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Who's your choice for MVP? Who's your top 5 MVP choices? Who's your choice for defensive player of the year and rookie of the year and sixth man of the year, as well as most improved? Let us know. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Last topic of the day. I want to bring up, sorry, I read a story about Caitlin Clark. And there was issue with Jason Williams saying that she's not the GOAT of college women's basketball. And he was getting a fair amount of pushback. Some people even accused him of race baiting. I didn't understand what the pushback was about.
Race baiting? What?
Yeah, saying that he didn't want to admit that a white woman, I guess, could be the GOAT ahead of.
What a white woman is. So.
Am I mistaken about Breonna Stewart's ethnicity?
Yeah.
Am I mistaken?
Yeah, and that's where I'm like, I don't know.
Deanna Taurasi, what up, sister girl?
I know Brianna's at the cookout before. Right? Like,
Yeah.
that's interesting. I mean,
So my first question is Caitlin Clark in the GOAT conversation
no.
of women's college basketball?
Or yeah, I was saying definitely, and then I was able to just think of you, and we're having a conversation now. So I guess the answer is yes.
Yeah, that was the pause for me.
Okay.
Talking about it, so I guess she is.
Yes, but
I don't think she's been enough. Okay, to me, if you haven't won a chip, I can't consider you a GOAT. So for me, she's not I wouldn't bring her to the conversation.
and for me, top three signifies GOAT. I mean, people say Kobe's not even GOAT conversations. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And if you're not in the top three and you're barely cracking top 10, then I don't think she would be in conversation. But since we're having a conversation, say it, but I think the parameters should be either top two strong and then at most three. And if she's not in your top three, then I don't think she's in a conversation.
Yeah. And I think it's fair to say that, hey, she may be the most prolific scorer in college basketball history, but that doesn't make her the greatest of all time.
And prolific meaning, like you guys said, it's just chance and circumstances. You know what I mean? Like you have a coach that says you have a green light, then sure. But if you have these programs where people are just more established and successful on the championship level, they would help out because they're coaches. I mean, Michael Jordan wasn't a great college player.
Yep.
And I shout out to Kelsey Plum because I didn't know
She had the record.
she was like that in college. I didn't know her until she was on the Aces. I didn't know she existed. I didn't know what college she went to, none of that. It's not Caitlin Clark's fault. It's not even, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but she is definitely promoted more heavily than Kelsey Plum. I don't remember the ESPN or any, no, I don't say call out anybody in particular, but I just don't remember this attention being put in Kelsey Plum whenever she broke the record. And on top of that, I don't think she's ever been in a GOAT conversation. So if Caitlin Clark passes, how is she in it? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar LeBron thing for me. I never had Kareem as the GOAT. So now that LeBron's the all-time leading scorer, I don't have him as the GOAT. You know what I mean? So to me, it's some similarities there. But very good player. You know, I stopped short of calling her a great player just because she hasn't been championship.
And I think we all agree, especially on the college level, I think in order to get into that great or GOAT conversation, you have to win a chip.
Yeah.
I think she's not a great talent. She's an exceptional talent.
Yes.
Yes.
She's a good college player of all time. She won't be looked at in no way, shape, or form as a great collegiate player. I mean, because you need hardware for things of that nature.
I.e. Pete Maravich.
Absolutely. an exceptional talent.
Right.
The ball was pretty much glued, or it was an extension of him when he came out of the womb. But great college player, no.
Right, and like no one questions her or Pete Marav's talent. We know how talented they are, but it's like if you're great, I feel like I'm taking it back to the court. Like if you're the best player on the playground or anywhere, I feel like, well, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
If I'm so much better, I'm the best person to ever step on this court. I should win a chip.
Yeah.
And that's just how I just felt about basketball in general. You know, like yeah, Caitlin Clark, like Hill said, I think we all in agreement.
Generation, once in a lifetime.
Exceptional time.
Once in a
Must see TV all
Once
the
in a
time.
lifetime.
And you know, come back to us in March. Like,
Yeah.
Come back to them. She's not retired, or she hasn't gone to the WNBA. She still has a chance to become great.
Yeah. And I think we've been on record as being fans of Caitlin Clark and her game, and showing our support for her game and her accomplishments. But I think it's fair to say that she's not in that GOAT conversation yet. She's not there yet. She still has work to do, and she's still on the journey.
Still has time.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever you think of Steph Curry, we're not having a championship.
Yeah. Because it's like, and Steph had a nice little run that put Davidson on the map, but I still don't think you would consider him a great college basketball.
Right, but hell, you talking about NBA?
NBA,
right?
NBA. I mean, he's the greatest person to ever shoot.
Right, he's the greatest shooter all time. No one's going to dispute
never won a
that.
championship.
But if he never won a chip, he's really good.
Yeah. He might be Craig Cousins.
In the barrels.
Yeah,
He means that.
Listen, God.
The line is really that fine, though. That fine. Really is that fine. At least with us, and I think it should be. I think it should be. If you've seen him, you would say Steph Curry. But the next sentence would be, I mean, the words after would be, should win the 3-point contest easy. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be greatest of all time. People are actually saying, like, is this his era over LeBron? You know what I'm saying? And the difference is the championships.
Yeah.
Like, that's how crazy it is. Then the line is being so fine as opposed to he has no chips and he's
Yeah.
I think he would be better than Dana Barrows. Shout out to Dana Barrows. He gave me 50. I remember that. He gave me 50.
because he should. I mean,
He's better than Johnny Flynn and Ricky Rubio.
yes.
Nice one, Minnesota. Passed on him twice.
I almost hesitate to ask the question, but I want to ask the question to our fans out there. Hey, do you have Caitlin Clark as the GOAT of women's college basketball? Is she in the conversation for you? Has she done enough? Let us know. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Fellas, what's on the radar, man?
I want to see if Minnesota's not going to collapse for once. Like I'm heavily invested in Anthony Edwards this year. I want to see that next step. FIBA had given me a lot. I got him in the MVP talks right now, mid-season. So hopefully they don't have to drop and then go far, second round, third round, hopefully conference finals. I need that next step from Anthony Edwards.
Pete, what's on your radar?
I guess it's kind of like a macrocosm what Hill just said. The Western Conference playoffs. The playoffs in general, but the West, I don't think there's going to be any upsets in the West. And I say that because it doesn't matter who wins.
Right, correct.
It's 8 quality teams, probably 10 could be like Golden State and the Lakers.
It's almost like playing their best basketball. Now.
Right. So that Western Conference playoffs is going to be like a bloodbath. I just don't see no one being up. Like I think we're talking off. Yeah, I think the Pelicans or the Kings are like the weakest teams or the people you quote unquote want to see. They could come out the West. You know what I mean? If they really get it together. So yeah, the Western Conference playoffs on our radar. And not even just the playoffs, just the jockeying for position. Although ultimately, I don't think it's even going to matter because it's so talented.
I think for me, it's the playoffs, period. I can't wait for that to start. We get into that. Also, March Madness. I'm looking forward to the women's March Madness. I think there's a lot of good teams out there between LSU, South Carolina, USC, Iowa, Indiana. There's a whole bunch of, there's at least, I say 10 to 15 teams that can make a solid run to a championship. And I'm really excited to see what develops out of that. Doom Part 2 is coming out next week. I'm there for that. Yes, fellas, yes.
You keep that segment of sci-fi people who watch it.
I'm sure they will wait. I see billboards in Times Square, so you're not alone. I mean, you're in this room, but you're not alone.
And I'm really interested in checking out this new anime on Max, Ninja Gamo. I heard really good things about it. So that's on my radar right now.
I feel guilty, man. At all. Like I can't really add on to that.
Fellas, another one of the books.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, good luck with the bracketologist fixing Iowa. If it's anything we spoke about, you're gonna have to put it away from the South Carolina and LSU. If you want to be that one, if you want to be Neo,
Yeah, hey,
bracketologist, do your job. I don't care how you look at it.
Set it up.
keep her away from them.
I.e. LSU versus South Carolina.
Yeah.
On that side of bracket, that entire side of bracket. over
Nah,
there.
it's like Mo said, it's scary. I don't know if they can, right? Because you could split LSU and South Carolina over here. So what you want to see Stanford?
Yeah.
You want to see Connecticut? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's the path to greatness, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be ducking it at all whatsoever.
And I think she embraces it.
Yeah.
And I think she's looking forward to the challenge. And
Don't help.
You can look forward to
Yeah,
it.
don't all your heart and soul into it. Just don't help.
hey, listen, she'll have the opportunity to add to her resume.
Absolutely.
And I believe she's 75 points away from surpassing Pete
I
Maravich
don't
for
think
the
I think that's apples and oranges. I don't know. Don't take that. I know they're trying.
What is that? I mean, it's just another tick on her belt that they feel like they need to boost it up. She needs to win. And she could be 5,000 from Kareem right now. I'm thinking, man, she needs to win.
Yeah.
She's accumulated. We get it. She's by herself. She throws up 40. That's fine.
Yeah.
But she needs to make it translate in this tournament to be a great player.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have all the points you want.
I think it's ironic. I think 20, 30 years from now, she doesn't win. She's going to be the female.
Whatever you feel of them, man. I mean, enthusiasts like us, we love people. We know people.
We respect Pete. We know how talented of a player he is, but we also know the lack of championships and the playoff mishaps that he's had in the NBA, and so.
Got a jacket, right? Complimentary jacket.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Pete Maravich.
Yeah. Well, he was one of my favorite guards when I was growing up. Learning about the game of basketball. So
Like Pete.
definitely. All right, fellas. That's it. We out.
Signing out, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.